In today's video, we are going to take on the challenge of building the little Pico Reef. It's taken me ages to get round to this, and I'll tell you why. I'm so blooming nervous, so nervous. Way more nervous than when I set my Red Sea Max Nano up. The challenge of 2022 starts here today. Hopefully you got your cup of tea ready. You've guessed it. Let's roll those titles. Right, little video. Let's build the Pico Tank. For 2022, we've got the Tank Pico Challenge, and it's starting now on the channel. Now, oh God, I'm so nervous about this one. So originally, Paul from Fishpalace, Ross from Bearded.reef, and Steve from Mogsys Aquarium, we challenged ourselves to a self-build. I can't build a tank. A self-build Pico Reef tank, and I'm really worried about this because it's only 3 litre volume of water. Keeping that stable with fish, corals, probably not even fish to be fair, with corals and livestock is going to be really, really tricky. But I can't delay it anymore. I've got to get on with this. They've all built theirs and I've taken the mickey a bit out of theirs, so hopefully it doesn't leak, hopefully it takes shape. Well, we'll have to wait and find out. So we're going to take the Pico tank down to the kitchen where there's plenty of ventilation away from the Nano Reef and get cracking with this little tank. Just unboxed all my items for the Pico Challenge 2022. Here is the Tank or Pico Tank. There is a link in the description if you also want to buy the same tank that I've bought. In fact, all the items that I've actually purchased for the Pico Challenge, they're all linked in the description. Right, I've just unboxed it all and just trying to work out what's going on. That's the brand, Pico Tank. There you go. I'm not sure what all these little bits here for. I don't know if these are your practice bits, maybe, I don't know. Don't know what those, especially these little bits, I ain't got a clue what that's for. That looks like the base. You can see the outline of the sump and the main display there. These are the 2 sides. There we go. I've got my return tubing, return nozzle. This is the glue, so it's acrylic glue, quite strong. So yeah, keep your windows open. Sorry if there's any noise on this video from through the window. I think that's the sump divide. I think. Could be wrong there. That looks like my lid. Don't worry about all this. This all comes off. This is just the acrylic on there. That's my back wall, which is pretty good, and then that's me front and back. That's it, that's the front and back. Right, so I think I've figured it all out. I've also noticed a little cheeky here, thank you so much, a little cheeky Jay's Real Reef etched in, so that's a nice little touch there. So we're almost ready to go. My little boy's just over here, he's doing his story writing, and yeah, I think we're all set to go. He's keeping me company anyway. Right, let's get cracking. So a bit like flat pack, I've laid out the base, the sides and the front and the back. I've got my black gloves on just to protect my skin from this acrylic glue, which is a little bit strong. The windows are wide open for good ventilation. Just giving it a little shake there just to get going. Removing the edge of the plastic covering there to reveal the surface. There's the central bit that separates the main display from the weir. This is speeded up footage. I didn't build it this quickly. I've just speeded it up for the video. So I'm just checking in the positioning, giving the glue a little shake, and then there'll be a nice little line, quite generous line actually, of glue. Just making sure that I didn't glue the corners because that piece is not going to go in yet. All the way along the edge. Nice and neat. Obviously I've still got the plastic protection on there as well, so it's not going to damage that if I run over it a little bit. Then just positioning my first side. Now this is so important, this one. If you get this side wrong, then the whole tank is going to be out of shape. So just taking my time there to ensure that it's square, that it's upright, using some of the bits that I've got. Just trying to nudge it into position. So I've got this set square off Amazon, the black set square. That was really helpful. And what I'm doing here is just checking that it's lined up and making sure there's no daylight between that vertical face and the set square. And then I'm using some additional pieces that I got in the kit just to square it up, making sure everything's a right angle and then just put in the beans to hold it in place. And there you go. You can see the tins just hold it in position while it sets. And I left it like that for about 30 minutes just to let that glue really take hold. Just starting the opposite side now. There is a generous line of the Anglisol 1200 adhesive. Plenty on there, and I've left it 30 minutes for the first side to dry. Here I'm just positioning the opposing side. Again, same strategy. Speeded up footage obviously. Just using my set square, using the additional pieces to ensure that it's all at a right angle. It's nicely in position, and then just trying that dividing sump piece to ensure that it's all snug and square and nicely fitted. So it looks like it's taking shape. There's the beans holding it together. Just checking that everything's lined up. And take your time with this. It's really important that you get it square. So I've left it 30 minutes there, and it's all dried. So this is the front panel. Just offering it up there just to see how square the edges are, making sure that there's no overlap. Just got to be nice and neat. Just removing the edge trim. Those edge trims are really good because it helps you line up as well the sides and the base. Just a dab or a line of acrylic glue right to the edge. I did put quite a bit more on the corner sections, so I feel that the corners is where it's probably going to leak most. So I did add a little bit extra on each of the corners. Again, super simple. Just run that acrylic glue down the edge and offer it up into position. Taking your time, applying a little bit of pressure. It does grab quite well the adhesive, and you can position it round. And there you go. I'm just offering the tins up there just to secure it in place. So this is the sump and the dividing baffle. I just slotted them together. I did actually glue them. Just run a little bead of glue down those, and that seemed to do the trick. So again, every section of the tank, I left it 30 minutes to dry, and here I'm gluing around the side, the base, and the opposite side to fit the sump divide and the baffle there. You can see that I've also taken away the plastic protection at the bottom of the sump because I wouldn't be able to get that off once this piece is in place. So I did think about that, and yeah, there we go, just slotting it in nice and carefully, and then it should create a really nice seal between the main display and the sump. Just tapping it into position, but the pieces are so well measured, it just fits perfectly. So there we have it. The sump is built. I found it easier to put the return pump in before fitting the back section of the Pico tank. Here is a really cool adapter that Kimmi.Reef, so Kim and Graham on Instagram, check them out. It's a really good little adapter, and it helps me to attach the return nozzle really securely to that dividing plate, and then allows me to attach the tubing from the return pump, the USB return pump, nice and neatly into the back of that sump section. The USB return pump, there's a link in the description, so if you want to check out which one I've purchased, you can see that in the description of this video. Here I'm carefully lining up the clear tubing just to make sure that it's the right length at the right angle. This is really important to get this right. One, you don't want any leaks from this section, really, and two, if there's kinks or bends in the line, in the tubing, it can create vibrations and noise from the pump. So it's really important to get that nice laminar flow going back to that display tank. I was just pushing on the end of the tubing here. It's a really good little adapter, and it just all fits in really well, and securing in the return pump. So there's the return pump, nicely in position. That cable will be nice and tidy. Speaking of the nozzle, look, it's absolutely brilliant, fully adjustable for aeration. Really happy with this build, and it's all by myself. You didn't see that, did you? No, you didn't see. I didn't use Bearded.reef's video, not one bit. Those small cube sections are just stuck to the lid just to hold the lid in place. So now is time. You can probably see I've also fixed the back onto the tank. That was another 30 minutes, but that was the same as the front, so I haven't shown it on the video. This is the light that I'm using. It's the TMC iLumenAir Nano Plus. Again, there's a link in the description. I think it was about £35–40. It's got a little clasp and clamp, little screw clamp. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use one of the spare sections, just seeing whereabouts I'd like it, and making sure as well that I can lift the sump lid off as well. Here's the set square, just measuring halfway across the back of the tank. It's 2 3/4 inches. I was using inches because that's what was on my set square. But yeah, it's 2 3/4 inches, 2.75 inches. Just removing that back plate, because back plastic, won't be able to get that off once I've stuck this section on. And there we go, I've got a little marker pen, just marking up the plastic there. And this here is a small piece, just a spare practice piece, putting on a square dab of the acrylic glue, and then carefully positioning it on the back, high enough so I can get the lid off and attach the light. I had to hold it there for about 20–30 seconds, and then it was stuck enough that I could then lay it down on its back, and I've used those spare pieces there just to square up the section that will hold the light. So there you have it. Honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed making this little Pico tank. Check them out on ptank.co.uk. It's a stunning little tank. Look how smart it looks. I honestly cannot believe it. And being a reefer and a Lego fan, the fact that I've built my own reef tank gives me such sense of pride. I hope it doesn't fail now. I've really enjoyed putting this together. In total, it took me around about 4 hours for letting sections to set, but if you've got something on the TV and you can just relax and build it at your own leisure, it's a really nice thing to do. There's the light fitted on. Here's the sump section. On the left here is the return baffle. I'm going to put the media basket in there as well. And there is the return pump taking the water back into the main display. It looks so expensive, and it really wasn't. I think on the website, P-Tank website, it is £45, and look at it, so impressed. So what do you think then? You know what, I'm loving this challenge, and if you're not on it, you've still got time to jump on the Pico Challenge 2022. There is a link to where I got my Pico tank from in the description. I think you've got till the mid-February, so you've got another couple of weeks if you still haven't joined. Jump on, honestly, it's a great bit of fun. We've got a little chat group and we're all sharing our experiences, and do you know what? It doesn't matter, does it? Just something to do, keep us interested, and yeah, it's nice, bit of reefing. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It really does help. Give me a thumbs up, or if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Those little things make a big difference and really help the video, and I do appreciate that. So in the next video, we're gonna add the not livestock, not yet. We're gonna put the sand in. I've got plenty of that. I'm gonna put the sand in, and I'm also gonna do the aquascape. So hopefully we get a cool little aquascape going on in that little Pico tank. If you haven't checked us out on the live stream, check us out on the live stream Friday 8 PM. Don't miss it. It's such good fun. Reefing chat, light-hearted entertainment on a Friday night. It's exactly what you need. But that's the end of this video. To see us more in the Pico Challenge, join us on the next video, which is going to be aquascaping, sand development and cycling. Can't wait for that one. Should be good. But for now, guys and girls, I'm going to leave you. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.